can go without fuck you, but it's like for so long I can't. But like I'm saying, you thought we was just gonna be hanging out for months, and like I was just gonna be taking you on dates and shit. Like I wasn't gonna get nothing out of that. That's what you thought. I guess. Like I don't know.
Hello fam, how are you all doing? I hope you all are good. The dangers of male sexual entitlement. Let's talk about it.
You up in this car during cleanup crew. We go back to yours and you don't give me some. Like Andy Lago would say, you have to right side. Let me know where it says Uber on my face. Let me know.
I hate to do this guy, but look, sexual entitlement makes dating and male and female interactions worse for literally everyone. And I just actually want to talk about how dangerous it is, because the belief that driving someone home, that spending money, that buying drinks, going on a date, anything really, you can be caught in, whatever, right? Means you're owed something physical, sex, whatever in return is just dangerous and toxic. There's this dynamic that plays out constantly in dating, that men often pursue sex as a primary goal, at least early on, right? And women know this, and some, not all, not the majority, but at least some, will try and leverage that interest to play men, right? To use them. So this entire mindset, this system is just so toxic and transactional. And it's one of the main reasons there's so much resentment on both sides, because we both feel used. Men feel used, women feel used and coerced and pressured, and no one's actually connecting with each other. But the real danger isn't just the bitterness or feeling used or resentment. That's all surface level. It's that second level, right? What happens when someone who has that mindset of entitlement, of transaction, takes it to the extreme? Like, I've seen a second video from this guy saying if he didn't get anything, he wouldn't do anything, right? Fair enough.
Men who consistently expect sex in return for basic decency, they are not motivated by desire, but by entitlement. Such men have reduced women to instruments of gratification, rather than recognizing that women are also humans with autonomy. This is so because men like that don't view women as equals. They often interpret favors, access, proximity as investments that must yield sexual returns, which is bad. Such men always struggle to offer help without attachment of sexual condition to it. They mistake such mindset as reciprocity. In their head, if I do for you, you will do for me. In such context, they are obviously misunderstanding what reciprocity truly means. It's all about control and power play for them. You don't necessarily have to be a grown man with a lot of money to do this. Even young boys do that. It's just the mindset.
Everyone can't be taken out on a date. Some people are just meant to be cracked, right? I'm sorry. That is the privilege at this point. Taking somebody out in public, you have to know who you're talking to at this point, right? Men know who they want to fuck, and they know who they really want to take serious.
I think that this video proves, it should reassure everyone at least, that we're looking at the wrong things when it pertains to dating, right? I think considering anything but action at this point in 2025 going into 2026 will only lead you to harming yourself. What I mean by that is all this talking and letting people know that this is what they should be doing, or if you do this, I'm going to be mad and I might leave. All that should go out the window. If you don't sit back and watch what somebody would prefer to do, because what it is that everybody's going to evaluate a situation and they're going to let themselves know what they're willing to do for a person. Simple, all of us do it, man and woman, right? So sit back and see what people would prefer to do when it pertains to you. And if you're not seeing what you ideally feel as though you deserve, you have to be quick to remove yourself. No questions, no arguments. Let's not go back and forth. For what? There's no point. What he's saying in this video, I mean, whether I see it as unfortunate or not, is the reality. Some people will dead look at you and say, that's not what I'm willing to do for you.
Can go without fuck you, but it's like for so long I can't. But like I'm saying, you thought we was just gonna be hanging out for months, and like I was just gonna be taking you on dates and shit. Like I wasn't gonna get nothing out of that. That's what you thought.
I guess. Like, I don't know.
So basically what this guy was telling this girl is that I'm not about to take you out if you ain't about to give me no coochie. She was only talking to him, she gave the backstory, she was only talking to him for 3 weeks. It had only been 1 week since they actually started hanging out. 2 of the times I think they actually went somewhere. The third time they was only hanging out in his car. They went to the store to get some snacks. That wasn't even like a real date. And he thought he was supposed to get some vagina? What is wrong with men? Because at the end of the day, we can feed ourselves and do. We take ourselves out on nice dates and do. I pay for my friends to get drinks when we out at the bar or at a lounge. I treat my mother to go and get her hair, her nails and toes done. So what makes a man think that they deserve access to your temple off of 2 dates that probably cost them less than $100 and you taking me to go sit in your car in a parking lot somewhere? And now if a woman now, she would have just been like, all right, give me some cash and I'll give you some ass. Then y'all be, oh, gold digger, prostitute. You all created the system of exchanging, doing things in exchange for access to some coochie. But if a woman just outright say, give me some money, then now she a gold digger and a prostitute. Y'all just want free and easy access. And we ain't going no more because, baby, guess what? I'm sure she could take herself out to get something to eat. I know I could, and majority of women out here is getting to it. Jobs, career, money. It's really not giving using a man for a free meal. Like, y'all are bugging. You think taking me out to get a $50 plate of food gives you access to my body? No. As women, we reserve the right to sleep with who we want to sleep with. And you should always feel like you need to earn access to a woman's body. Period. Now, if she want to give it up on the first night, that's her prerogative. We're grown. People could do whatever it is that they want to do. But to think that you supposed to get some because you took her out twice is diabolical. Spread love, Mr. Brooklyn Way.
Y'all, I went on a date the other day. And everything seemed so normal. I hate when a date seems like it's just normal and things are going well, only to have like an epic switch up. Like, I've had a few epic switch ups. Like, I'll give you a few examples. One time I was on a date, nice normal date. Then all of a sudden a man started feeling me up under the table, trying to act like he wanted me to lay on the bar. Another date, very nice normal date. I was young, in my 20s, went out with this white guy. By the time I got home, I didn't even put my key in the door. The man said some weird shit like, "You're so hot, I wanted to eat you under that table." They always want to eat you. And then another time, that time almost made me cry because I was on this nice date with this fine man, like normal guy, very like Ivy League educated, had his master's, multiple businesses, and he just seemed so emotionally intelligent. Like, we were talking about his life and, you know, my life. He was asking me questions about myself. Like, he seemed genuinely interested in me, talking about where he liked to travel, his childhood, all of this stuff. He had did such a good date too. Like, he was from the Bay Area and he was in town and he was like, "Oh, I'm going to take you out." And he could have used that as an excuse to be like, "Oh, well, why don't you plan it? I'll just show up." No, the man planned a nice date at a very nice restaurant. A restaurant I would have actually taken myself. I love it when they do that. Like, you know? So the date was so nice. And then it seemed like towards the end of the date, he started tweaking. Like, I don't know if he was like, "Oh, you know, I better make a move now." The man started scooting all next to me, start massaging on me, and then trying to force his way to my house. And I just almost cried in that restaurant because I was just like, how many times is shit like this gonna happen? Like, I was like, I looked so classy on that date. Like, I had nice subtle makeup, nothing too exaggerated, nothing too colorful. I was wearing a really beautiful long black dress and like nice boots. And the reason why I was almost cried because I was like, it doesn't matter what you wear. It doesn't matter how you dress, how you present yourself. Like, none of that matters. A man's gonna treat you how he wants to treat you regardless. And the reason why I was just like so upset about it is because it was such a nice date. And I remember feeling like that on the date, like, wow, this is the first date I've had in a while. That it felt just like I was getting to know somebody and it was moving at a pace that felt comfortable to me. And then he fucking ruined it. And the thing about it is, I remember like a few weeks later, he reached out because he went back home to the Bay and he was like, you know, can we FaceTime soon? I want to get to know you. And I told him, I was like, look, I didn't want to ruin the evening. So I didn't really say much of anything. I didn't want to make a big deal, but you made me feel uncomfortable. And to my surprise, he didn't gaslight me about it. He apologized. You know, he said that, you know, he didn't want to make me feel uncomfortable, you know, and I really appreciated that. And I said, thank you. But for some reason, I just didn't feel like I wanted to see him anymore. And it didn't matter how much money he had. It didn't matter how educated he was. It didn't matter how much he traveled. I didn't know if I would be in a space to feel comfortable with him again. I think I was just crippled by the disappointment of it all.
A little bit under the table, please. Just a little bit under the table.
What do you want from me?
Just some head. Just a little bit of head. Like
no.
What? Audacity.
So not only did I think that America have
I think the reason why he's asking for that is because he usually gets that from other ladies. Crazy.
shame, they don't. This doesn't only happen within the UK but America too. Yeah, dude is asking for head under the table. Not a little bit, just a dude. It sounds like one of them rocks. I wanna kill my mom. That's what he sounds like, and I'm flipping shook. Even those that have begged before, guys, you know they don't beg like this.
A little bit under the table, please. Just a little bit under the table.
What do you want from me?
Just a little bit of head.
No.
Do you know the level of entitlement required for a man to feel comfortable asking a woman in public to perform such sexual acts under a table? He was asking her as though she has no dignity, as though she's not a human. I bet he was seeing a sex toy, not a human. His request is dehumanizing. In the comment section, some people were saying, they were speculating that it could be the lady was a sex worker. Even if she's a sex worker, get a room. You don't have to dehumanize her. It's her work. Treat her work with respect. Some men have disregard for womanhood and consent. Is he going to say that he's not aware that what he's doing is coercion? Then, on the other video clip, the man was boldly saying not every woman deserves to be taken out on a date. Some women are just for sex and that's it. Men know what they are doing. If you appear to be desperate, if you sell yourself short, if you sell yourself cheap to them, they will treat you accordingly. It's very obvious men know the women that they must respect. They feel that way towards those women, not because those women are beautiful and pretty or they are wealthy. No, but because those women had self-respect and they had their boundaries intact. Such women don't take BS from men.
As a pretty girl, you need to be extremely strategic about how you move through the dating scene. Men like attractive women, so by default, as an attractive woman, you are going to get a lot of male energy. However, unfortunately, the downside of this is a lot of women do not know how to handle this attention. And especially if you're young and fresh, you can meet men showing you attention and think they're doing it with the right intentions. A lot of men do not have the best intentions for you. They are just trying to get access to your snatch. And what happens if you don't wise up and you keep going through this dating game and men keep approaching you the same way and your situation keeps ending the same way, you will start to build a reputation. And the same men who think you're so pretty and so attractive will start talking to their friends about you, and their friends will start talking to their friends about you. So what happens is, instead of a man meeting you and forming his own first impression and deciding his own perception of you, he will already know about you and your reputation. And he will approach you with that in mind. So there are a lot of women who are attractive. However, because they have had certain or a variety of interactions with men, your name is already out there and attached to some kind of stereotype. So let's say, for example, a man is approaching you because he thinks you're a hoe. It is going to be very difficult and near impossible for you to convert that situation into something serious. The only thing that can help you do that is how you carry yourself in a situation. So you have to be very slow through that process. However, there are a lot of men that will see that slowness and be irritated because they're thinking, hold on, you wasn't doing this for Billy, John, Jill, whatever their names are. So what I would advise is to just not put yourself in that situation. Be very slow to get in bed with these men. Because the same men that will love bomb you, give you all the adoration, sweet nothings to get what they want, will turn around on the other side and judge you for giving them what they wanted. And as a reformed dating, I can tell you that it's very hard to enter the dating game and not get overwhelmed by the attention when you haven't been attractive and you suddenly find yourself in a place where you're attractive. That is where a lot of women go wrong. A lot of men will know that you used to be big or not attractive or whatever stopped you getting attention in the past. They will understand because they would have seen you. They would have just dismissed you. And what it is a lot of times when we get fly, our personality doesn't go through the change with us. So we still, let's say if you were overweight before, you can still, you know, when they say you still have that fat girl inside you, still have that fat girl mindset. I think basically what they're trying to say is you're still insecure. You're still not expecting men to approach you. So you're very fresh and green in that kind of environment. You don't have experience. And men absolutely want to take advantage of that fact. So if you are a pretty girl and you know that you want a, real respectful, lasting, mutual respectful relationship, be very slow on how you move about this dating game. Be very careful. Be very stingy with your snatch. Make that man prove to you over a long and consistent period of time that you are the one that he wants and you are the one that he's ready to commit to. Some men are still mad. They'll make you do all that and then they'll still do some psycho. Men are scary. Ladies, men are scary. So the best thing we can do for ourselves is to maintain our self-love and our self-respect. Now, like I always say, there's always an exception to the rule. For best results, assume it's not you. Mwah.
If you have no boundary, if you lower your standard, men will rubbish you. See finish will come inside. Don't think you having the money will make a man respect you. Nope. Don't think you looking beautiful will make a man respect you. No. You can have men flocking around. Most of them coming around are just interested in getting into your panties and then they bounce. The best way to have your respect and command respect is by having your boundaries and stick by them. Have those standards. Have your bars up. Uphold your boundaries. Don't lower your boundaries for anyone. Men know when women have low self-esteem. They know when women are desperate. They can sense it because a lot of them are manipulative. So they know what to look out for. If you appear to be desperate, if you're a pick-me, they will use you. If you decide to become an understanding girlfriend, they will use you. If you decide to be a doormat, they will use you. They may make you believe that, they appreciate you. They will sing praises of you here and there, now and then. It's just a matter of time. They will dump you and go after the baddies that don't take nonsense from them. And remember, the reason why they are running after those baddies is not because they love them, but because they have this urge to conquer. They see such women as conquest. They cannot understand why a woman like that will have so much audacity, so much boldness. They cannot understand why a woman like that is not falling for them, is not letting them have their way. The moment you let your guards down, they'll treat you like you're nobody. My message is not for everyone. Some people are natural pick-me's. They love being pick-me's, and I don't think there's a problem with that. So don't come to my comment section trying to attack me. My message is not for everyone. The people that want the message will pick it and use it.
Baby?
Yes, my love?
Is it true that when a man is interested in a woman, he will take things slowly, almost be afraid to touch her?
Yeah, it's true. He will not rush her because he wants to play the long game. He will for sure measure the words he says, his actions, also the timing, when is right to kiss for the first time.
So men are aware of these things.
We are aware. We know that one wrong move could cost access to that person.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody's important enough, you do what's right. You build instead of rushing.
it doesn't bother him, the fact that he maybe has to wait a bit, it's not gonna throw him off?
No, because he knows he's playing the long game, so he will get a bigger result by holding and building slowly things. That's why, for example, the so-called bad boys, they don't do these things because they have no intention to play the long game with that person. The opposite.
The quick fix.
Exactly. So
him taking things slowly is a good sign.
It's a good sign and a form of respect as well.
Thank you, Mom.
If you are with a man, but you still feel like you are in survival mode, get the away from that man. When you are with a man, you are supposed to feel safe. You're supposed to feel soft. You're supposed to feel protected. If that man is not providing safety for you, of peace of mind, bye, bitch.
If after only 1 or 2 dates, a man is telling you you need to be exclusive with him, that man does not want you. He wants the idea of you. I'm probably going to make a more thought out video on this later, but I just had to speak on this tonight because my head is literally spinning because this keeps happening to me. I will go on dates with guys. The guy seems amazing. We have a great connection. And on the first or second date, they almost always ask me if I'm dating anybody else. And my answer is always yes, I'm dating. I'm on a date with you, aren't I? And I have been shocked by the number of times that response is met with, oh, okay, yeah, well, I don't really date girls unless they're only dating me, so you're gonna need to cut that off, or I don't think I can do this. Now, this would be fine if we were in high school and the only criteria for whether or not you wanted to be with someone was whether or not you liked each other, but we are grown, we are adults. I am dating to find a husband, a life partner, and the guys I'm going on dates with say that they're dating for the same thing. So when a man wants to jump into exclusivity so quickly, it tells me 2 things about them, or really 3. 1, you are infatuated with the image of me because you do not know the real me. You know the surface level me and all of the wonderful qualities that I can portray on a first and second date. You don't know what my goals, my hopes, my dreams are, my fears are, how I act when I'm angry, what triggers me, what makes me upset. You don't know anything that makes me me. And I find that usually these men are very image conscious because they like the way that we look together. They like how fun I am around them and they're like, yes, that's what I want. And they have no desire to get to know me as a real person to see whether or not they might like me beyond all of this superficial stuff. 2, they might be possessive and controlling. At this point in a relationship, no matter how strong your connection is or how much you like each other, neither of you owe each other anything except for time and honesty if you're actually trying to pursue something with each other. I don't even ask guys if they're seeing other people because I am assuming any man that I would want would be seeing other women until we've gotten to know each other and decided that we want each other. So why are you so preoccupied with me potentially getting to know other men? If you're what I want, I'm gonna naturally fall off with everybody else and my attention's going to naturally gravitate to you. But that can only happen if we actually take the time to get to know each other. And 3, I find a lot of these men describe themselves as relationship type guys, meaning they're more comfortable in a relationship than single, and that's fine, but I need to make sure that you're not just seeing me as this person that can fill a void in your life. And until you actually get to know me as a person and decide you still want to be with me, that's exactly what you're doing. I've had to cut things off with a lot of guys that seemed really cool because of this exact reason. And it's just frustrating because it's just like, dang, does anybody actually want to get to know me as a person? Maybe it's just being in LA, living in this very superficial culture, but it would be really nice to start meeting people who actually want to get to know me intentionally and be willing to put in the work to do so. Being wanted for surface level reasons does not feel good.
Went on a date and it was so normal. I mean, the guy was doing everything right. Like, he met me last week. He got on my calendar, like within 12 hours, texted me, asking me my schedule, got on my calendar for a lunch date. We go to the lunch. Oh, and I also want to add, keeping, consistent communication with me, but not constant, because I'm not one of those girls that likes to be on the phone all day. Like, you're gonna get in front of me. That's what I want to see you. I want to hang out with you. I don't want to be on the phone all day unless you live in another city. But we go on the date, very normal date, nice, talking about very ambitious guy, doing well for himself, nice guy, just seemed normal conversation. I felt very comfortable on the date. I get in my car, go home, no problem. The next day, that shit goes left. And I'm gonna post, I'm embarrassed, honestly, to even post, because I did like a cute little get ready with me, part of my little Black Carrie Bradshaw series, where I, show you guys like me getting ready for a date. So I was so optimistic about the date. Like, I literally feel embarrassed now to even post it, because I'm just like, damn, that shit went so left. Like, here I'm looking in the video like excited and having all these nice things to say, and I'm just like, for it to be a fucking mirage. Like, the guy was completely one way, and then he turned out to be exactly what I thought he wasn't. Yeah, I'm tired of this. Like, I'm so tired of this. Like, I cannot wait for the day that I can come to you guys with just general optimistic news. Like, hey, you guys, like, I'm in a healthy relationship, or like, hey, you guys, I'm getting married, or like, hey, you guys, I went on a nice date. It was really normal with a nice guy, and, or hey, the most obvious, but so hard to find. Hey, I have a crush on a guy, or I like a guy and he likes me back. Yeah.
Little girl, my grandmother told me one time, she said, sweetie, you can't love a man the way you love me. And I didn't understand that. I just thought she was like, my grandmother raised me. I was so grateful. So for Easter, I would buy her a complete outfit with undergarments, purse, bag to match. And I remember when I was old enough, I begged this man to let me put something on layaway. And I put my grandmother a Curtis Mathis TV with a remote on layaway. And he usually was like, I don't do deals with young women. You know, you're underage. And he let me pay on it with my little Burger King job until I paid off my grandmother's TV with a remote, because she used to knock on the window and call me in. I was her personal remote as a child. So she would call me in to change the channel. So I actually went and purchased her a TV and saved up my money to get her a TV with a remote. And I was so proud of myself. But she used to tell me over and over again, baby, you cannot love me the way you love me. You can't love a man like that. And I was so grateful for her raising me. I had teenage parents, and I was just so grateful. So anytime I had money, because I knew we were living off less than $550 a month with her Social Security, I just wanted to show gratitude. And she saw that in me. She saw that I would chase love. She saw that I would overgive because I was so grateful. And she was so right. I tried to love men that way, and they do not, at least certain men, they do not receive the love like that when you overgive as a woman. When you show so much love, a lot of them are not ready to receive that type of love. Some of them prefer to pursue. Some of them recognize it as desperation, and not that this is just because no one loved you like that. You want to love and show gratitude. And even though you're coming from a good space, that's not the way you can love a man and receive the love you want in return and the level of respect. At least not the type of men you are drawing. Maybe you'll find someone who can receive that abundance of love. But until you love yourself enough and create standards, sis, you can't do that with everybody. Learn from my mistakes. Don't repeat them. Much heart always.
Let's have a look at the comment section. Let's see how people are reacting to this topic. The whole point of the man picking the woman up and driving her home was to make sure she got to the date and home safely. If it was an act of protection, now it's predation. I know these days men are saying that they are not willing to protect women anymore, that since women have decided to be more independent, women are earning their own money, women are not willing to serve them, they are not willing to be protective anymore towards women. In the past, it's normal for a man to offer to pick a woman up from her place if they are going on a date. That's if the man is driving. Pick her up, take her to the date, and take her back. But these days, it comes with entitlement. If I pick you up, you have to give me sex in return. If I take you home, sex in return. If I take you out on a date, sex in return. If I buy you a cup of coffee, sex in return. Very transactional. It's not like men have not always been transactional. They've always been transactional. But the level of transaction we are seeing recently is on the high side.
Okay, Camille says, What if he asks for physical intimacy faster than he has provided? She also follows it up by saying he's capable of helping financially, but he has skipped that part and wants us to get bedroom intimate. What should I do? Welcome to Mr. King's Takes. Camille, let's talk about this. Listen, darling, my first question for you is, do you even like this guy like that? Because we all acknowledge that life is a constant trading of value. And thus, in romantic dynamics, men and women are constantly trading value with each other over time, progressively. We also know that one of a woman's biggest elements in her arsenal for the value trade-off is, in fact, her kitty cat. So I can see why you would think about it in the way that you are. However, that value trade should never feel like a very deliberate, literal transaction. In my very humble opinion, the one prerequisite to bedroom action taking place is the fact that you both want it. Which is the reason why my first question to you is, do you even like him like that? You dig? So, Camille, if you don't desire this man on that animal level in the same way he does to you, then you shouldn't sleep with him. But if you are waiting for him to drop some money or to make some kind of splurge in order for the kitty cat to lubricate, then sweetheart, this is not a romance. It's a transaction. In fact, we can go ahead and call it exactly what it is. It's a slightly emotionally upgraded form of prostitution. Let's just be real. But if you do desire him on that animal level, but are simply wondering why he seems to have resources and yet hasn't offered any of it on the journey, then it's up to you to inspire him to do so. You see, bedroom action isn't something that is earned. It's something that is shared mutually and passionately. And provision / investment on a man's part, that's not something that is demanded or that you're entitled to. It's something that is inspired and willingly given. See, in the natural trade-off of value, it should be so natural that it's happening seamlessly without it feeling like one is happening in order for the other to do so. You see, the thing is, if you are that girl for him, then you won't even have to ask for too much. Your energy will naturally make him want to provide in some way, shape, or form. So, Camille, simply, here is my stance. If you don't desire this man, then don't do it. But if you do desire him, then own it. No guilt. Get jiggy with it. Put the bunda on him like you mean it. And if you would like more investment from him, then invite him into doing so. Femininity will open doors. Ultimatums will close it. Does that make sense? Ultimately, bedroom action should never be like a vending machine where a man has to insert the cash in order to get access. If that's happening, that's a very specific type of job. We already know that, right? No shame on it, but it's a job. Real bedroom action should happen because of mutual desire. It should happen because there is a spark. And if there is no spark, then sweetheart, if there is no desire, it doesn't even matter if he does invest. Still, you will be faking it. I hope that clears it up for you. Peace.
It's all very tiring. This extremely sexualized culture is enforcing grape culture. They don't see it that way. And that's why I never ever let a man to pay for my drinks or dinners. Always used my car and paid for my things because I knew I didn't want to feel like I owe you something. You're wrong and right at the same time. Because buying someone a drink does not make you entitled to have a handy, but she's gonna give it up to some other dude. Goodness, hold on. But she's going to give it up to some other dude who didn't lead with money. Like, are you seeing how they reason? So because she's going to give it up to some other dude, so why can't she give it to me? What's the difference? That's their mindset. Goodness. Let's see how people reacted to what he said. This one says, this is so incredibly entitled. If you really want to pay for it, go to a hooker who consents to and expects it. Obviously, my point is, don't buy her anything until you've clapped cheeks. Really? Your choice of words shows how you view women and the dynamics between both sexes. We do not live in a vacuum because you've been indoctrinated to think this way by the society, and that literally shows through your choice of words. Does he even care? They think it's normal to think that way. Giving it up, it's a mutual attraction on activity two people involve themselves in. No, they don't see it that way. That's why I say most of them telling you they love you, they are faking it. It's all about taking it from her so the next man will not have it. Let me be the one to have it first or have it forever. That's the mindset a lot of these modern men have. Probably the older men had the same mindset too, but things are very different with these modern men. Women are the ones thinking about sexual intimacy, a blissful experience, and all that. Some men don't care. Some men would even tell you all VJJs are the same. Why are you feeling special? Why do you think you're special? If you don't give it to me, the next lady will. I can't imagine feeling entitled to someone else's body. That's mad. This is why I don't let them do nothing for me at all. I got it. You're all good. We only ever have these types of conversations because people go out with people they don't genuinely like. If there were chemistry involved, I promise you, we will have less and less of such conversations. Someone replied, this. I doubt they would even think that way if there would be any chemistry involved. Being in a relationship makes men even worse at feeling entitled to do it. It never stops. Men are focused on one thing. Sex. That's their major focus. Okay, let me not say they're focused on one thing, but they have one major focus. Sex. Because of continuous access to a woman's body, men date women. Men get into relationship. Men have girlfriends. A man having chemistry for you, finding you attractive, will not take away the fact that he's interested in sex. And one way for him to continuously have access to your body is to get into a relationship with you. So many men in relationships don't care about the people they're dating. The reason why they are there is because they want to continuously have access to a woman's body. It's all about the sex for them. She was talking about chemistry. If a man that has chemistry for you and you have chemistry for him in return decides to go into a relationship with you, do you think that relationship is going to survive? It's going to last if you remove sex from it? Nope. The chemistry is all about the sex. This is a guy. This guy is saying, do you realize girls fake enthusiasm just to get free dinner and drinks? That's why I say, as a girl, as a lady, focus on having your money, your bag. Because if you do have your own money, there will be a limit to the nonsense you can take from men. Honestly, imagine faking happiness, faking smiles, faking to laugh when you're not really into the person talking because you want free meal. Like, for real? I don't know if people really do that, but this is what a man is claiming. Well, most relationships are transactional. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it is. It's often the men are the ones with the money. They are paying for a woman's body without even communicating to her that the reason I'm having this relationship with you is because I want to have access to your body. The deluded woman will think, oh, he loves me, oh, I love him, oh, I want to build something. Even in marriage, for marriage is another level. Then they use you to keep their lineage going and have more credit in the society, more points. They use marriage to elevate their status amongst their fellow men. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and I will see you all in the next one.
If you're anything like me and you've been putting yourself out there a lot and going on a lot of dates, you will run into a lot of men who try to hook up with you on the first, second, or third date. You'll run into a lot of guys who will say things like, want to come back to my place and get a nightcap after a first date? Or guys who literally try to have a first date at their house. And I think this is a good opportunity to set your boundaries and see how they react. For me personally, if a guy ever asks to do a first date at his house, it's an automatic deal breaker and I don't go out with them. But let's pretend like I wanted to try and redirect the date. I would say something along the lines of, hey, I don't do first dates at someone's house for safety reasons, and also it's just not my style, but let me know where you'd like to take me out. It's a really good opportunity to see how they react. They might get really defensive and say, oh, I wasn't trying to hook up with you. Like, I can't believe you would think that, which gives you a pretty good indicator that they were in fact trying to hook up with you. Or they might be really respectful about it and say, oh, sorry, I didn't mean it like that. Let's definitely go get drinks somewhere. Now, if you're already on a date, let's say you go somewhere to get drinks or dinner and they ask you to come back to their house for a nightcap, I tend to have a really similar answer, which is, oh, I wouldn't go to someone's house that I don't know and we don't really know each other, but thanks for the invitation. And you can see what they do with that. Again, maybe they go, of course we know each other, we just went on a date, and get really defensive, or maybe they say, oh my gosh, I totally understand. See you next time. So for me, it's all about setting those boundaries early and then also reinforcing those boundaries. And I just had a conversation with my friend about this, but I think it's really easy on a date when someone says, just come back to my place for a drink, to feel for some reason obligated to say yes. You are under no obligation to say yes. And in fact, for safety reasons, you should probably say no. When you go on a date with someone, you know them for like an hour and a half. So to go back to their house alone can be really unsafe. Obviously, you have to make whatever decisions feel right to you, but you definitely should not do it out of obligation and put your safety in jeopardy because you feel guilty.